Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. So apparently, the individual that shot and killed Charlie Kirk has been found and identified. Here is an image of this person. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Let's see. Here is his mug shot here. And the title of this article is Etchings on Bullet Casings of Charlie Kirk Assassin. Quote, "Hey, fascist catch." I don't know exactly how, but hey, fascist catch. Or anyway, let's get right into this article. We're going to get into our discussion, okay? Utah Governor Spencer Cox revealed Friday that bullet casings in the rifle allegedly used by Tyler Robinson to assassinate Charlie Kirk were etched with a variety of messages, including one that read, "Hey, fascist catch." Robinson, 22, was arrested Thursday evening, apparently, I'll get this now, apparently after his father had turned him in. Now, this is what I'm reading according to this article in Breitbart News. I mean, maybe perhaps you guys have some conflicting articles or conflicting news sources that may be the opposite of what I'm reading, but nevertheless, it's news, okay? Cox said that the Robinson family and friends had cooperated with investigators in corroborating clues linking him to the assassination. Cox reiterated that the bolt-action rifle that had allegedly been used in the assassination had been recovered, wrapped in a dark towel in a wooded area behind the Utah Valley University campus where Kirk was shot. And what's interesting to me with this is, according to many of the leftist news sources, when this individual was suspected to have been the culprit that assassinated Charlie Kirk, they were leaving out the details of these etchings in the bullet casings, because I believe it didn't fit their narrative. I mean, after all, if these etchings were found on the bullet casings and these liberal news sources knew about that, and that they deliberately hid that from the viewers, that would tell me right up there that, hey, it's your people, it's the people that are on your side that are doing this. But they don't want the millions of Americans to know that the people that are doing this type of stuff is radicalized people on your side. It is what it is. Deal with it. Let's go on. Cox said, quote, investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, quote, "Notice bulges, OE, what's this?" What the heck? Spell OWO, what's this? I don't know what this stuff means. Maybe you guys know what all this nonsense means. Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, quote, "Hey, fascist catch." And then up arrow symbol, right arrow symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, quote, but now I'm gonna try my best to pronounce this, because this is really Bella Co, Bella Co, Bella Co, Co. What the heck? Man, oh man. And the third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay." The quote notices bulges message, according to, quote, "Know Your Mean," is a reference to gay sexuality associated with the furry phenomena. That's in quotations, okay? Which refers to attraction to cartoon animals. Now, I had read about this phenomena some years ago, I think in 2018, from a book written by Mark Dice, talking about the radical left and how insane many of their worldviews are. And apparently this is what this is about. This is a reference to attraction to cartoon animals. This is really, really demented. Attraction to cartoon animals? Anyway, The arrow symbols may have been a video game reference. The phrase, quote, Bella Cia, CIAO or COCIS or whatever, is reportedly associated with left-wing songs loosely linked to 20th century Italian opponents of fascism. Oh, but he's not a left-leaning person, huh? This is not the left that did this, huh? Okay. Early reports had suggested that the casings had, quote, anti-fascist and transgender messages. Cox said that family members had shared images of messages with Robinson confirming that he had made engravings on the bullet cases. End of article. You saw me reading that. I wasn't making it up. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so apparently, allegedly the assassinator, the one that took the life of legendary conservative and Christian activist Charlie Kirk, has been found. And I'm glad about that. I'm glad that he's been found. If in fact he's the one that did this. But what I want to hone in on the fact is that apparently, according to this article, his father or his, one that turned him in. And that's very, very, it's hard to really put in words, because here I can imagine how the father was feeling about this. Okay. As a matter of fact, another video that I've done, it's going to be premiering at around 4 o'clock, that deals with similar subjects. Parents having to turn in their children or reveal things that their children are doing that are extremely violent, extremely wrong, evil. I can imagine what this father was feeling. Now, some people say, well, it's just bad upbringing. The reason why this young man is the way he is because of bad upbringing. Sometimes that's the case, and sometimes that's not the case. Let's not jump to conclusions and jump to judgments, because that's not always the case. A person can start off right. Parents can be good parents, train their children up in the way that they should go, teach them good morals and values and all the rest. And then when these children reach a certain age, they go off in the wrong end. And that's because we are free will moral agents. We can choose to go whatever direction we want to go. Someone can give you all the best advice, all the best spiritual advice, all the best economic advice, all the advice that you need to help you to be a more productive individual in society. And you can choose to go in the route that is opposite of what they told you. Because we can choose to go whatever we want to do. So I say that because I don't want anyone to jump to conclusions that maybe perhaps the parents of this young man needs to be examined. Is it possible that they was aware of this? Yes, it's possible. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they are to blame. Not necessarily. And particularly with this being the father of this young man. The father of this young man. I mean, this is what's disturbing. I'm going to read that again. Cox said that the Robinson family and friends had cooperated. Oh, here it is. Robinson, 22, was arrested Thursday evening, apparently after his father had turned him in. Now, this is according to this article. Now, there could be some conflicting articles and conflicting news sources that may be opposite of what I've just read to you guys there. And you can leave it in the comment box if you want, or whatever. I may discover it as time goes on. But according to this article, his father turned him in. So can you imagine the hurt in the father's heart at what his son has done? Even if the father was a liberal. Okay. All liberals, even though I don't agree with a lot of their ideologies and worldviews, all liberals are not nutbags. All liberals are not as extreme. And I would argue that a vast majority, and I know I give liberals a lot of headache, But when I talk about that, I'm not talking about regular liberals per se. The people that you can go to work with, and you know, they may be liberal, but they're not extreme. They're not communists, okay, ready to slit your throat at the drop of a hat. They're just regular, everyday liberals. I've told you guys this before. I've known liberals in my past, and they were liberal, but they were some of the greatest guys I've ever met. It was cool. I loved talking to them because they were very intelligent, and we would have great conversations. But it could be argued that the father, perhaps he may have been liberal. He may have been liberal, but not liberal in the sense that his son was. His son had went off the deep end. And this is a horrible, horrible thing to take place. And this is a horrible thing for a father to discover if, in fact, the father was not an extremist like his son was, which clearly, more than likely, he wasn't, because he wouldn't have never turned him in. Okay. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about that. I just want to bring that up because apparently this young man has been found. Now, I'm going to follow up more on the what are they going to do in terms of initiating the law and justice. Is this guy going to get the death penalty? Is he going to get life imprisonment? I don't know. Whatever the state he's in. I mean, I don't know if they have the death penalty. In my opinion, he deserves it. He deserves it because this was premeditated murder right off the bat. Premeditated murder. And at the very least, if they don't have the death penalty in that particular state and city, he should get triple life sentence. This guy should have no reason to be getting out at all. Shouldn't be like he served 50 years, let him go. No, it should be triple life sentences, meaning suggesting, which is interesting because Richard Pryor said this in a comedy sketch. He said many years ago in one of his stand-up comedies, he says, and I'm just rephrasing what he said. He knew someone in prison that had to do triple life sentences, which means that if you die and come back, you got to go back to prison. So although that sounds comical, this is what this guy should get. He should get triple, quadruple, whatever life sentences if they don't have the death penalty in this area. Because he should not be allowed to get out at all. This guy is demented. He is crazy. And once again, as I suspected in my past video, even though I wasn't sure, I suspected that this guy was a far left liberal loony, messed up in the head. And according to the article, look, man, look at this. I'm going to read this again. Let me just read this again. It's talking about early reports that suggested the cases had anti-fascist and transgender messages. So does this mean that this young man was a transgender? No. But it does suggest that he supported the transgender agenda. And what are we seeing? What are we seeing is that a significant number of these kinds of acts of murder and so forth are being committed by transgender men. Not all of them, but most of them are. Let's deal with the facts now. Let's be realistic and stop playing games. This is what a lot of these, and it could be argued, look, is it the chemicals that's in there that's in the injections that they take? I don't know. But these people, I would go as far to say they're demon possessed. They have opened their spirit up to demonic spirits. And I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but I believe in it. I believe in it. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. I've dealt with people who were demon possessed and weren't mentally ill. They were demon possessed. I had to cast the demons out of them. Their eyes rolled in the back of their head and they was vomiting. Yeah, I had to deal with that. It wasn't no mental illness. That's real. But I believe that these individuals are demon possessed. Okay. And people like this, these many of these transgenders, if in fact that this was found on the casings, anti-fascist messages and transgender messages was found on the casings, which I'm pretty sure it was, that this guy, if he was not a transgender, was someone that supported that agenda, was someone in full support of that agenda, and anyone that was against it, like Charlie Kirk was, and spoke out publicly about it, and was having a positive effect on other people in reference to it, they had, in his mind, in this guy's mind here, they had to be eliminated. To me, that's demon possession. It goes beyond mental illness. Okay? I could see the darkness in this guy's eyes just on this photo right here. Just on his mugshot, I could see the darkness in his eyes. He looked demented. So, yeah, it's a sad thing, but apparently they have caught this guy. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if justice is going to be initiated. Let's see if he's going to get the death penalty, which he deserves, or triple life sentences, okay, with no possibility of parole. Period, bottom line. He needs to get the full extent of the law. And people that are like this, we have to be careful. We have to watch them. It is what it is. Call it what you want, but it is what it is. You have to keep your head on a swivel. But that's what I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.